St. Thomas University Digital Journalism and New Media present.
Welcome, and thank you for joining us on the special edition of The Basement Files. I'm ALYSSA GOULD, and here are today's top stories. Canada Post strike supporters gathered and continued to protest despite possible fines. And a look at Fredericton's music scene with Eddie Young, a local homegrown booking agent and manager for musicians. Postal strike supporters gathered and protested Saturday. STU journalism reporter Sarah Morin has more.
More than 85 protesters gathered outside MP Matt DeCourcy's office on December 1st, protesting the back-to-work law that imposes fines on postal workers if they go on strike. Fredericton was one of 20 cities where protests were held. Activists made signs, carried flags, and chanted, "All I want for Christmas is the right to strike," at passing vehicles. They also wrote, "We will be back," on the sidewalks outside DeCourcy's office. For St. Thomas Journalism, I'm Sarah Morin.
There's plenty components needed for local artists to thrive. Reporter Johnny James brings us into the life of Eddie Young, the one who can help make it all happen.
In his home on Fredericton's north side, Eddie Young runs Roots and Soul Promotions, a project that has filled in the gaps he saw in the city's music scene.
I realized like a lot of these folk musicians and stuff like that were missing out on Fredericton. They were driving right by because there was nowhere for them to play. So I set up here and let them come here play. We put them up in our kids' rooms for the night and things like that. And then the opportunity came up at Grimross when they opened up.
Young has made Grimross Brewing into a hotspot with weekly programming that draws a consistent audience. His annual Living Roots Festival has also grown and is now hosted at multiple venues across the city every spring.
So I took a ride down where the love is sold. I found
Young also played a huge part in the recent release from solo artist Colin Falley, helping it hit number 4 on the Earshot National Folk Charts and taking him on his first tour outside New Brunswick.
I kind of played the role of tour manager, did some sound and stuff when that was required, and tried to take a little bit of the burden off of Colin. So my idea was just to so he could just go out and play the music, and that's all he had to focus on.
Young says he wants to encourage the next generation to support local music. He's aiming to create more shows for all ages and incentives to draw out Fredericton students in the coming years. For STU Journalism, I'm Johnny James.
Fast Forward gives an opportunity for local talent to develop music business skills and an opportunity to rock out on stage. Our Jerry Faye Flatt has more.
Fast Forward happened last weekend, the 7th annual 2-day music festival made for emerging artists. Each artist had a showcasing slot and performed on stage in the Charlotte Street Arts Center auditorium. Some performers included Skinny Lee, Catherine Kennedy, Heat Sheets, and Amy Stone and the Veneers. People gathered in the auditorium to get a sneak peek of the new up-and-coming artists and to see the headlining band, the Hypochondriacs. Fast Forward gets a well-known band like the Hypochondriacs to headline each night so that people come out to see the lesser-known acts. Friday and Saturday night were filled with good music. And of course, some good beer. For STU Journalism, I'm Jerry Faye Flatt.
Now for the people who need direction and skills to stay in shape. Who better to get Frederictonians in tip-top shape than ex-baseball player turned fitness guru Derek Wilson? Danielle Cairo Singer reports.
Building on a successful career is not an easy feat. Not when you are New Brunswick's 2018 Baseball Hall of Fame inductee. For Derek Wilson, a former senior baseball league player, opening a gym to cater for the fitness needs of his clients is his way of giving back to a society that supported him throughout his career.
Physical fitness and training for sports is something that I've done my whole life, and that's something that's given me a reputation that people are seeking me out to train them for basketball or baseball.
One of his clients is former 13-time World Arm Wrestling Champion Joyce King, who is now training to be a bodybuilder.
I'm here at Full Body Fitness, training with my full-time trainer Derek Wilson to get ready for my next year's up-and-coming bodybuilding championship. I'm going to be doing physique and figure.
Derek has always been motivated to help everyone.
Every individual's got a different story, a different background, and I'm just trying to help get them on track and help their quality of life.
One such person who has benefited a lot is bus driver Todd English.
Lost 130 pounds in the last 3 years, so this has been about 80% of my health journey.
From bodybuilding to just trying to stay healthy, keeping fit is good business. This is Daniel Darrow-Singer reporting for St. Thomas University.
With the new year approaching, I'm sure he'll be busy in the gym working on those resolutions. Now for people who want to get through Christmas before even thinking about the new year, STU journalism reporter Jerry Faye Flatt checked out Christmas at the Market, where people are getting their Christmas shopping done very early.
People took a break from the cold on Thursday and Friday of last week to attend Christmas at the Market. Here, people can buy locally made crafts from small business owners. Destiny Johnson works at Bite the Bullet. They usually sell their products at the regular Saturday market. They make jewelry out of recycled bullet casings. This is their second time selling products at the Christmas market.
We're from Bird's Corner and we have a lot of hunters in the area. So one day she was just walking through the woods with her 3 kids and she noticed like a ton of bullet casings. So she started picking them up, and once the bucket got full, she decided to start doing stuff with it. So that's kind of how we started.
Christmas at the Market offers a place for vendors to sell everything from food to hand-knit items to baby clothing. Some vendors have been selling items at the Christmas market for years. Others are selling their items here for the first time.
I'm Kevin LeBeouf, and I'm the co-owner of Educated Beards with my partner Alicia Phillips. I was in the military for over 13 years, and I started growing my beard, and I hated it. It was itchy, it was scratchy, and I just wanted to shave it off.
But he didn't shave it off. Instead, he and his partner created an all-natural product in glass containers to moisturize his beard.
So we want to educate. That's how we came up with the name Educated Beards. We want to bring awareness to your skin, which is your largest organ. So all our products are 100% natural and organic.
LeBeouf sold a limited edition Christmas box that contained all sorts of different items for beard care and upkeep, all stored in a reusable box. While some got a head start on their shopping before the heavy snow came down, others just came to browse. Regardless of the reason, the market put people in the Christmas spirit with holiday items for sale and Christmas music playing through the overhead speakers.
Yeah, the Christmas music's definitely getting me in the mood.
For STU Journalism, I'm Jerry Faye Flatt.
It's beginning to look a lot like Christmas.
They're everywhere. On our wrists, on our bedstands, on our walls, and in our pockets. Clocks. They've been around for a while, but the art of clockwork has been around even longer. Reporter Garrett Moore has a story.
Since the 18th century, clockwork has graced the lives of many people. As time advanced, so did clockwork, with more intricate and precise pieces being created today. The earliest known mechanical clocks had no more than 10 pieces, while the average Rolex wristwatch has on average 116 pieces, just to keep the hands moving. Though clockwork isn't just to do with clocks, an orrery, a model of the solar system, demonstrates an impressive use of clockwork. While the world is passing through the information age with smartphone in hand, there does seem to be a special place in our hearts for these ticking contraptions. This is Garrett Moore reporting for St. Thomas Journalism.
Now for something that can slow down time for some. Our reporter Rachel Morrow spoke with the CEO of NB Liquor on the recent legalization of recreational marijuana.
Cannabis is set to be legalised around the country on Wednesday, with 9 stores in New Brunswick ready to open. The legalisation of recreational marijuana use is said to make weed safer and more controlled, as it can be more closely monitored for its quality.
We are ready, so we have our team hired across the province. We completed our training last week for 330 people who have now been hired and trained, which works out to about 200 full-time jobs. And our stores are ready to go. We have 20 stores on track to open here on October the 17th, so we feel we're as ready as we can be at this stage of the game.
Harriman emphasised the importance of legal and safe cannabis being available to young people.
For a small percentage of younger users, under the age of 25, there is a risk of creating long-term mental health issues. So that's the part that probably gives us the biggest piece of indigestion. The counter side of that is by the model we're choosing, by legalizing and regulating it, hopefully we can get more and more cannabis away from youth.
A letter was sent out earlier this month by the government that allowed for households to read about how to use cannabis correctly and the dangers of its use. 11 Cannabis NB stores will open in New Brunswick on Wednesday, and products will be available in stores and online. Rachel Moros reporting for STU Journalism.
And for our final story, it's the time of the year to give back. The third annual Dooley's Christmas pop-up shops gathered funds for cancer research. Our reporter Rachel Moros went to check it out.
The Christmas pop-up shop was held at Dooley's on Saturday, with over 30 local vendors attending the event. The event showcased local crafts with free wine tasting by Atero Wines. The occasion was held to raise money and awareness for cancer research. The Atlantic Canada Opportunities Agency agreed to match every dollar donated times 4. That meant that every dollar was turned into $5 to help the cause. All donations were given to the Atlantic Cancer Research Institute in Moncton, New Brunswick. This is Rachel Moros reporting for STU Journalism.
Well, that's a wrap for this year's Basement Files. If you missed a newscast, make sure to check us out on our website. For St. Thomas Journalism, I'm Alyssa Gould.